years. This is Alabama 1955 type behaviour, where they used to set fire to black churches. And now it's happening in this country. And the audacity of the Irish, the audacity of us. I mean, the Taoiseach, and this is my real issue now, Minister, because in the light of all this stuff, of places being set on fire, and everybody who isn't white Irish being genuinely afraid to walk the streets because of things that might be said to them. And you have protests all over the place, and roads being blocked, as I said. What do we have? What's the rhetoric from government this month? Crackdown on illegal immigration, says the Taoiseach. You, Minister, interviewed this month. We will see a lot more deportations, says the Minister for Justice. And even today, Minister Brown comes in here and speaks about clamping down. And the audacity of government, who in 3 weeks' time are going to be over in the White House, and what are you going to be asking Joe Biden about? Documentation for the illegal Irish. Can we sort out the undocumented Irish over in the States? Can we do a job for them? And yet, you use rhetoric such as clamping down, crackdown, and we're going to see an awful lot more deportations. So, we have a spate, a pattern of protests not being called out, roads being blocked, not being called out, public meetings, rhetoric, people using very violent language, not really being cracked down upon, local representatives kind of turning up or not turning up or just playing both sides, and then everybody's surprised when the thing goes up in flames. Meanwhile, you have a completely dispirited, morale on the floor, unprecedented resignations in An Garda Síochána. And what do we get from you, Minister, this year? In the light of all that, well, clearly it's been successful. Because these protests and this anger and this violence has led to government representatives, yes, saying it's terrible and it's wrong and shouldn't happen, but changing your tone when it comes to immigration, changing it. So I am not going to come in here and tell you that you need to change the immigration system. Other people may do that, but I'm not going to do that. We will, of course, continue to honour our solemn international duty in the area of protection. However, we do not have limitless resources, and we simply cannot operate an immigration policy which leaves us open to being targeted by those who trade in human misery, no more than we are in a position to provide for the vast number of economic migrants who seek a better life. It would be wrong for us to pretend otherwise, or to offer simplistic solutions to what are truly complex and difficult issues of public policy which governments all over Europe are struggling to grapple with.